All right, here with the father and trainer.
Ow! That's a heavy-handed dude right there.
Oh yeah, I know.
He can punch a hole through a wall.
Yeah. I remember him on the mitts with you, Kenny.
Oh
I was
my
there.
goodness, Kenny! He just yes.
But
Thank you.
But Kenny, man, I remember you telling it some years ago. But please refresh my memory. What was that? How'd that story go with you and Bud?
I don't want to go into the detail of it. He laughed up there, but he know it to be true. Bud was a real serious guy when he came to tournaments. And sometimes, you know, us as coaches, you know, we'd have to reel him in a little bit, you know, when he, you know, get after some of the other fighters outside of the ring. And I said a few words to him, and he took it personal, you know. And then later on that evening, we were at a U.S. tournament. Later on that evening, we both happened to be walking through the same area, dark area, no lighting, like an alley almost. And we stopped in the center and just looked at each other, and he had both his fists balled up. And he was like looking at me like, whatever you gonna do, I'm gonna do it too. And I just looked at him and I thought to myself, nah, I'm gonna just walk away from this one. And he knows it to be true, and that's the only guy that I can ever say in my life. Now, you know, a lot of situations that stood right there with me like that.
Probably with dudes bigger than him,
and
too.
I was a lot bigger than him. He was fighting at 130 pounds at the time. He didn't back down an inch.
How old was he at that time? Was he a teenager still, or?
19, 20 years old. Yeah, he's a real one.
Did Shawn ever, do you remember any sparring between him and Shawn back in the day when they were?
No, different weight classes.
Right.
Lot different. I mean, I first met Bud at 14, 15 years old at a national tournament. So they were always in different classes. By the time Shawn got to that senior division, Shawn was heavy, up in 160 pounds at that point, because he was playing football. Bud was still at 132.
Did you know he was going to be special back then?
You know, I didn't.
Or was he a late bloomer kind of thing?
No, I didn't know what we're looking at today, but he was always a champion. He was always at the Nationals beating all the top guys.
Now, you know, everyone talks about the great competition Shawn's been, but is this guy even a tougher fight than Thurman and Spence were?
You know, I don't put those guys in the same conversation, because I look at him as the individual that he is. A lot like Shawn said, I'm not looking at the resume. I'm not looking at the people that we fought. My preparation is for a guy that's 6'6" and weighs 1,000 pounds. And that's the way I'm approaching this with him, to get prepared for him.
Is there any thing you have to be wary of that you don't have Shawn too respectful? You guys aren't too respectful, because you know Bud gets, you know, he can get disrespectful once it's time for the fight. I
don't think we got that at all.
No.
I sense that they're going to turn it on as soon as the other one turns it on. Mm-hmm. So if he takes an inch step forward, Shawn's going to step up too. And I know Bud ain't gonna back down, so we got a fight on our hands.
And Shawn said he's thinking knockout for this fight. Are you thinking the same, Kenny? You going for the knockout?
I don't ever go into a fight thinking knockout. Mm-hmm. I will go into a fight with a game plan of punishing a guy, and if that leads to the knockout or leads to a stoppage, yeah. But I would definitely work towards punishing him.
And lastly, Kenny, do you think this fight is a war like Spencer Thurman? We get more technical type fight this time, chess match?
It's always a war with Shawn Porter. It's always a war with Shawn Porter. The technical stuff, that we may start off that way. There may be some things that look like it's going to be that way, but I don't expect it to last too long. And like Bud said, if we push him, he's pushing back. So, yeah.
Thanks, Kenny. Thank you.